Welcome to the American Forked
Welcome to
welcome to
welcome
the
American
Forked.
Phil.
Huh?
podcast.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil.
What's up?
Welcome
Oh,
to
thanks,
the
buddy.
American Fork Podcast.
If you haven't noticed, well, we'll get to that. But this is the American Forked Podcast, streaming to you live from American Fork, Utah. That's why you hear that radio fuzzy warmness in your ears, because we're talking right now. You could come right over here to Trent's house and just walk right in his garage and up the stairs into a rickety attic and record with us.
You could
Yeah, but you won't.
aren't listening.
That's right. America is forked. We're here to fix it. And we do that through the news, which we like to shout out to our dear old town of American Fork, Utah, and check out what news is going on. And what is the news, Jake?
What's going on, Phil?
You're supposed to say it now because I already told you.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Oh, because we already
from American Fork.
talked about it in our show prep
Oh, yeah.
before we went live.
Yeah.
Yeah, some old guy went missing, I think.
Yeah, from American Fork.
Yeah,
But he's
But-
in Wendover?
apparently he is from American Fork, but got lost in Wendover. Is
Yeah.
that right?
I think so. We couldn't really figure out like how that works, where they issue an amber alert from or silver alert or whatever it is. Like, do they issue it from the place you are living or the place you were born or where you went missing
Or where your grandparents were from,
or where they think you might have gone?
where your first car was manufactured. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't think that information is out there.
Does anyone pay attention to those?
The Amber Alerts?
Yeah.
Or the Silver Alerts?
Do you ever read them?
I do.
Oh,
I mean, I have to because it's like the only thing on my phone when it comes out.
yeah. I always read through it and it's like, it says, yeah, and then I get into the details and it's like, mom took the kids without asking dad. And it's like, okay, this is a marital dispute. This is not
It
a
usually is
national
family,
emergency.
though. The vast majority of the cases, it's family members.
Yeah, and I get it. You can't just pick up your kids without the other parent consenting, I guess.
Especially if there's like, a restraining order or
Yeah.
you don't have custody over those children.
Right. And that's probably usually the case. I'm not as worried about those as like the ones that are like obvious sex trafficker, grab this girl off the street. We have 1 hour to save her life.
Before she's dead.
But I've never got that one.
Yeah.
It's always like,
That's because they're almost always family members
yeah,
who forgot to check in with the caretaker
yeah. Which
or the guardian.
to me means they've overplayed the urgency of the Amber Alert. Because most people are like, oh, it's a family member.
It's the older sister.
Dad took their kids. Yeah, he shouldn't have, but it's their dad. I don't know. What do you think, computer robot?
I think that if we had someone that was like really old that was kind of senile that stole a child, there'd be like a silver amber alert. That would be the ultimate.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I would pay attention to that
So
one.
what color is silver and amber mixed
Oh,
together?
And he's gone.
No, he's still here.
Oh, well, he's gone off the iPad, which means he's not being recorded.
Yeah. So a silver amber alert. What is silver and amber mixed together? Like copper? A copper alert?
I think it's samber.
No, you don't just mix the words together.
Like, what color does silver and amber make?
Yeah, the amber color, because amber is a color, right? It's also the name, I think. Is
Yeah, I think it would just be like silvery or amber, like probably a muddier brown or
copper.
amber. Yeah, copper. I did think of that.
But I said it first.
Oh, okay. So,
We were talking about amber and silver mixed together, and Jeff dropped.
oh yeah, and it makes copper. And all I was doing was thinking about epoxy because I make stuff out of epoxy with my kids sometimes.
Yeah, I think it would be a copper alert.
Yeah.
An old man captured, or
Old man
an old man kidnaps a young child
who's a granddaughter.
who is I don't know if it matters.
Oh, okay.
If the relation.
I think so.
Or no, an old man gets kidnapped by somebody, then it's a copper alert because it's amber and silver mixed together.
Yeah. I think the Amber Alert, I mean, if there's a restraining order against dad and he comes and gets the kids and mom thinks he's never bringing them back, I guess that would be cause. But more than likely, he's just taking them for ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. But
I think there needs to be some specific proof that the children are in danger somehow, because the cops won't release an Amber Alert without specific criteria in place. So it's not dad went and dad's like 10 minutes late from dropping the kids off from joint custody. There's more to it than that.
Because you would get Amber Alerts every 3 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But what I'm saying is it's too frequent, and that means the public isn't paying attention, which means it's not effective. It needs to only be like critical life-saving stuff so that when everyone gets one, everyone's like, whoa, I need to walk out my front yard right now and look around and see if there's a yellow Civic driving by. You know what I mean?
I think they need to get rid of that terrible sound that it emits, and you need to give it like the same ringtone as your Snapchat notifications or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
I like the sound because I always know what it is, and I'm always like, I better pay attention. But again, I only read it, and then I'm like, I've forgotten that. It didn't matter. You know what I mean?
Well, it must be somewhat effective because it seems to work. So
And why doesn't it include a picture?
Well, I guess they would, because usually the Amber Alert will say, go to this link for more details.
So
And if there are pictures, they should put them on there. I imagine they would.
So I recently did that. They had one like, I don't know, a week ago or two, and I clicked on the link. It said like utahalerts.gov or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I click on it, and it's like, there are no alerts. And I was like, what the F?
That's
It
dumb.
just rang, and I just clicked on it. So
I clicked on it too, and it took me to someone's MySpace page.
Oh, it's like it's government, so they're catching up.
It's
on
Tom.
Yeah,
that.
they're not
It's
quite
Tom
to
from
Facebook yet.
MySpace.
Tom from MySpace.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's because of COVID. Let's be honest.
Yeah, everything
Or
else.
the Russians
Isn't that the answer
or
for
the
everything?
Russians.
It's COVID.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Russia.
and Russia. Exactly. Anyway,
I have a venereal disease. It's COVID,
yeah.
right?
No, that was Roe versus Roe v. Wade.
Oh,
that
right.
got you the VD. Sorry to derail. Go on, Phil.
Anyway, on to some Utah news. We had a great Utah news story come through our official Twitter feed at twitter.americanforked.com. Is that an address?
I don't think that's real.
Twitter.com/American Forked.
Oh, is that how it?
But the American Forked Twitter account didn't do anything with this article.
Oh, okay. So this one comes to us from our news correspondent,
Beagle.
who is recently retired 50 episodes ago, Beagle. And it's a tweet from Spencer Cox, who is the governor of Utah, and he says, I'm excited to see so many people interested in water policy, drought / saving the Great Salt Lake over the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, many have gotten their information from the New York Times or John Oliver, so let me share with you some big changes we've made just this year. And then he doesn't share the changes. I don't get how Twitter works. But I guess, so are people criticizing Utah's water use? Is that why he said that? I didn't.
Yeah, well, Beagle also shared with us the last week tonight John Oliver show bit. where
Oh, he
talked
sent a
about,
video
No,
after
well,
that?
no, that was last week. He
Oh.
shared that with us. Do you remember that video? Did you watch that video?
No.
Where John Oliver's talking about the drought, and he used Salt Lake or Utah as an example of bad. I guess he was essentially saying inaccurate or ineffective covering or dealing with the drought, and using Utah as an example, and how Governor Cox asked the people of Utah to pray, no matter your faith, to pray for rain.
Uh-huh.
And John Oliver, joked about it and how that's,
Oh, like the only thing he did was ask people to pray, and he didn't do anything else.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, he did talk about some other things that Utah is doing, but he's basically saying that God gave us a lake made out of salt as a sign that this is a dry place or something like that.
Oh.
Anyway, but Spencer Cox's, so in response to Spencer Cox's tweet that you just read, Spencer Cox also included additional tweets replying to it with more information.
Oh, like what? Like what was he doing?
Oh man, Phil, you're gonna.
Oh, you don't have to read it. I thought it was memorable. It was like Utah did this, and everyone cheered. But we didn't do anything, did we?
Well, we have made some changes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did we get rid of that data center up there that is sucking the life
Nope,
out of
still
all
there.
the lakes?
My dad still works there.
Oh. We should have him, tell us how much water that thing's using.
He would be assassinated.
Oh, it's probably classified.
He'd be killed.
They're like, oh, we don't know where all the water's going. This huge drought started right when we built this giant data center that takes half the
Right.
lake worth of water.
And for some reason, yeah, as soon as we built it, every year has been in a bad drought.
Yeah.
One of Spencer Cox's reply tweets was, sadly, the Times and Oliver failed to research or report most of the work that has been done on these issues, so I thought it might be helpful to put as much of it as possible in an easy thread for anyone that is really interested. The experts agree these are not just baby steps. And he tweeted a picture. I've heard some people say that these are baby steps, Bracken said. They're not baby steps. These are huge fundamental sea change movements in the area of water law. That was one comment that someone has made. And then he went on to talk about some additional things that Utah's legislature has done to positively impact the effects of the drought.
Oh. What do they want him to do? Was John Oliver like, he should have done this?
Yeah, John Oliver said, I think he kind of alluded to the fact that we need regulations on water usage.
Yeah.
And there have been some municipalities in Utah that have limited the use of water.
Yeah, but if we're not out of water, do we need to limit it?
That's the argument we kind of had last week.
Oh.
That we have water, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's right. What?
So I did some quick math. Ready?
Okay.
Yes.
So data centers for 15 megawatt data center uses 360 gallons of water per day. So this center in Lehigh uses about 1.5 million gallons of water per day.
Oh, that's not very much.
1.5 million gallons?
How much
per day?
How much is in a swimming pool?
It's probably like 70 billion gallons in one small plastic swimming pool.
Is that true?
No, Phil, it's a ton of water. It's a lot of water.
How many gallons in an Olympic swimming pool?
I guess 5,000 gallons.
Oh, my internet.
I would
doesn't
say
work.
like 30,000,
If it's
20,000.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be Phil. How many gallons of milk
don't
built
laugh.
in a swimming pool?
Oh, it says Wi-Fi not connected. No wonder. What a
Well,
great
don't you worry.
episode, right, listener? Load my porn.
That's the name of the Wi-Fi network that we're on.
Yeah, we don't know why. It's later. Remind me later. You're welcome, Jeff, for this edit.
All of them.
I'm not editing this out. 660,000 gallons of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
So it's roughly double. Two Olympic-sized swimming pools every day. That data center's
And that's just
sucking
the
out.
drinking. That's just the drinking fountain.
Okay, now how many? Ask your googly goog. How many gallons of water are in Utah Lake? How many gallons in Utah Lake?
700 or 278 billion with a B.
That's a lot. So wait. 278 billion. That means that data center could run every day all year long and only be like not even half a billion, right? So
I don't
yeah.
want to do the math in my head. So
okay.
I'll just say yes.
So it uses a lot of
I think-
water, but compared to how much water is in Utah Lake, it's not really a lot. Is that where we're landing?
I think so, but at the same time, it's like for one facility to be using that much is, I think, what's alarming.
Well, I was hoping that it was the cause of the whole drought, but maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I thought that the government said that the data center did not have to divulge how much water they were using because that would let people know how much data that would leave them to know how much data that they're
True. It could
manipulating.
be like 25 Olympic-sized swimming pools, and that would cause a drought.
Is that
Because I'm a scientist.
was that number of what the data center usage just an estimate?
I don't know where
No, it
Jeff
was-
got that.
It was actually from the internet. It said how many megawatts it took and then how many gallons per
that's right.
megawatts.
So Jeff was inferring from like smaller data centers how much water they use and compared that to the power output or input of the big one. Did we give you enough math, listener, for today? Or just talking about numbers, I guess?
Today's episode's coming at you with a free TI 83 Plus graphing calculator.
There you go.
Ooh, the plus.
Yeah.
Didn't that one have snake on it or something?
Yeah, exactly.
So on to national news. People, I was hoping Tyler was going to be on because he was going to be like, I'm so mad about Roe v. Wade, and this is why.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not. So
We can only infer.
I think everyone's forgotten about it already. Like everyone's moving on. Is that the
It
case?
was longer than 6 days ago, so it's like way old news.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Except the people who are like butthurt about it. I
Yeah.
think they won't ever forget about it.
So one thing we haven't talked about that's been going on the last few weeks is this January 6th hearings committee thing. You guys been following that at all?
A little bit.
Yeah. What have you found?
Something about Trump assaulted a Secret Service person or something.
Yeah. So I think well, I don't really understand the nature of the hearings because they already did an impeachment, and I don't know what it means to just like have a hearing. But I guess they're like interviewing people to potentially recommend charges. But that's not what Congress does.
Are they just hell bent on getting it so that Trump cannot run for president?
I guess so.
Is that all that they're focusing on?
I guess.
I really think that the idea is just keep focusing all the attention on this and seeing how bad it is and just don't give it up forever. Whatever needs to be brought
forever.
up, just bring it up.
What if Trump had a heart attack tomorrow and died? What would they do?
They would stop.
They would just be like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, the January 6th thing would absolve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They wouldn't try him.
No, they'd probably keep it. They'd probably keep going and trying to attack every single person that ever knew Trump, and they'd keep it going, I'm sure.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, yeah, the thing they were saying this girl got up to testify that she, for some reason, knew or talked to somebody who was in the car, and Trump was like, take me to that rally. And the Secret Service guy was like, no. And Trump's like, I'm effing president. And lurched across the car with his thin frame and slipped right between the seats and grabbed the steering wheel, and but they didn't let him. Is that what happened?
That's more than I know about it.
Oh,
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that's what allegedly happened. And apparently another dude came out and said that's not true, and the Secret Service guy who was driving will testify to it. I don't know why it even matters. Why is that even a thing?
What exactly?
That Trump was like, take me to the rally.
Oh.
Is that bad? Wouldn't that have been good? Because didn't he call everybody off? And in theory, if he'd gone there sooner, they'd turn around and listen to him instead of bulldozing in the front doors.
I don't know.
Or do they think Trump would have got there and like grabbed an American flag and broke it over his knee and been like, follow me, men, and charged in there?
Freedom.
They made
I think it's all silly.
Oh, you do? You don't think it's going to go anywhere?
I think it's a waste of time and resources.
I haven't heard anything that's jumped out to me that made me really want to pay attention. If they were like, oh, no, I take that back. There was a thing, and I'm trying to remember what it is right now. But
such a big thing, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a big deal.
It was something to the effect, I'm probably going to get this wrong.
Probably.
But it was something that, like, Trump had called off. Like, there was a report to him that they thought violence could break out, and that he said that he intentionally didn't put guards up or something. It was something to that effect. And it actually jumped out to me because I was like, something like that makes sense to me because it was
like
weird.
Called off support or something like that.
Yeah.
He called. Yeah, they were accusing him of calling off the Coast Guard, when the truth is he requested additional.
No, I want to say it was like Capitol Security, something to do with that, and I don't know.
But he does. I guess what he doesn't have the ability to do that though.
Wouldn't that be like FBI or something?
Again, I'm fudging the details, but it was something to that effect.
And
it made me think it could be plausible because there was obviously something messed up going on that day, right? We all agreed with that from the beginning. Like, people are just walking by, policemen who are just standing back. Come on in, angry protesters. Like, it seemed like there was very little pushback in some situations. Obviously, there are plenty of videos where they're pushing back and pushing against huge crowds and all that.
Outside. But once they're inside, all the videos were like, come on in.
Yeah, it was strange. So I don't know. I don't know. But could be interesting. Just not interesting. Probably not even interesting enough to talk about on this podcast.
It's not.
Yes,
It's
it is,
not.
Jeff.
No, it's not.
Well, and we had to talk about Donald Trump because now we're going to talk about Joe Biden, which apparently people are up in a twist about his laptop thing. Did you hear about that?
No, what's that?
So apparently you've never heard of Hunter Biden's laptop?
Oh, Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Joe.
Oh, sorry. Well,
yes, the Hunter Biden laptop thing is a big deal.
Because apparently there's a voicemail on there where Joe Biden leaves his son Hunter Biden a voicemail and says something to the effect of, hey, there's this New York Times article coming out about you tomorrow. I think you're clear. Anyway, love you. Like, kind of implying like the thing that we were worried about isn't going to be on there. I don't know. But it's so vague that it's like, I don't know that it's really anything, but maybe it is.
Yeah, I think it's no secret that Hunter Biden was not exactly an outstanding human being.
Yeah, and the question is whether or not Joe Biden was involved in his financial dealings.
There are a lot of assumptions being made by people on the right that Hunter was referencing his father in money dealings.
Yeah, and people say, or Biden says, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. I find that unlikely only for this reason that, okay, you go have a meeting with one big company and you're like, I'm Joe Biden's son. I can get you access. Pay me $1 million. Okay. But then you don't get any access. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand going to another company after not getting the first one any access and convincing them to also do that, and then another and another. You know what I mean? You'd have to provide something to, otherwise
it must have been somewhat successful.
Otherwise, word would get around. Hey, Hunter Biden's traveling the world peddling access to his dad, but he doesn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what would play out?
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, it's fishy.
It's fishy,
but there's nothing. I don't know if there was anything criminal that's like evidentially, evidence of anything criminal occurring.
Well, I think they're saying it's criminal to peddle access to the president.
Well, the big
or
guy.
the vice president.
The big guy.
Well,
is
even
what
the vice
he was referring
president.
To.
Right.
He would use the term big guy.
But even access to, even if you were like chief of staff or somebody,
Mm-hmm.
like you can't sell access, especially to foreign entities. Isn't that right? Is there like a law or something? You don't even know.
I'm not aware of any law. It's just, it seems fishy, the
Oh,
whole thing.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe you can.
I don't know all the details, but the things that are fishy to me is like Hunter Biden's literally like a drug addict, hasn't had a job for years and years. His dad becomes vice president, and then all of a sudden he's like
on the
all these
board
boards of directors and making money off of foreign entities and stuff. And you're like, okay, so he just cleaned up real quick with the whole family, and now he's, I guess, an expert in all these things that he couldn't have done 5 years ago when he was like partying and being a drug addict.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, it is possible that being the son of the vice president is so prestigious that, like if you were going to throw a birthday party for your kids and, what's that guy's name that raped everybody? Bill Cosby.
I was like, I had a list of like 7 people, famous people.
Bill
in my
Cosby's daughter was in town, and she's like, "I'll go to your birthday party and tell jokes for $25." Don't you think somebody would pick up on that? Somebody would hire her, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be booked.
Yeah. So times that by 1 billion, the president of the United States, the vice president, his son will come be on your board. Who cares what he did or didn't do, just like Bill Cosby,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some backwards shady company in Iraq or Poland or wherever these places. I think it was China and Ukraine, right? Were the big ones.
Yeah.
And Russia, I think, was another one.
Burisma was from Ukraine.
But I guess it makes some sense that he's like, yeah, I'll come be on your board. If that's all you want, I'll take $1 million. Maybe I'd probably do the same. I don't know. Maybe not.
And then you'd do lines off of hookers' stomachs.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding, wife. Never, ever. Right, Jeff?
I'm not your wife.
Jeff knows because his wife's been gone for the last 13 years.
Sounds like she's dead. Jeez. 13 years.
Anyway.
They never actually met.
Yeah. He's still gonna meet her. And then they'll figure out how their kids came along. On to the topic of the night. Dun 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 dun. Is there are a lot of shows there's a lot of shows that came out lately that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, there have been a few.
Like Stranger Things. Are you caught up now, Jeff?
Dude, I have watched more non-animated shows in the last 2 weeks than my entire life before then.
Yeah, somebody gave Jeff their Netflix password. Who was it?
It was It was Trent.
Oh, it was Trent.
Yeah.
So Trent gave Jeff his Netflix password. Jeff has now binged half of Netflix in the last month.
Basically, yeah.
I am not kept up on
Oh, you're not?
Stranger Things, so don't spoil anything.
Well,
I'm not all the way up either. I'm
I've
on
only-
like episode 2 of the new season.
Of the
Oh.
latest season. Yeah, I think we watched 3. But there have been so many other shows that we've been watching that
Oh, really?
it's just been impossible to keep up.
Yeah, we got through it, but the last 2 episodes are like 2 hours long each, and I don't understand why they did that. They were hard to get through. I think we broke them up over several nights
Instead of just doing 2 or 3 episodes for each one of those, you're
yeah,
saying?
because we usually watch like 2 episodes a night, but these were like really slow, really long episodes. Had to be some contractual thing where they're like, we got to get a certain amount of hours in,
Or
I don't
they
know.
can only have a certain number of episodes.
Maybe.
So they squeezed.
Well,
they squoze
it just didn't feel
to-
like squoze. It felt like loose editing.
like they lengthened it out
Yeah.
on purpose.
Like there were just scenes that were like, okay, you could have cut 20 seconds out there. You could have cut, you know what I mean? Anyway, it was good though. It was exciting. What else has been out?
Talked last week about The Boys.
Oh, that's right.
Boys have a new season. Umbrella Academy has a new season.
And that was good. Did you watch
I
that?
haven't seen that one yet.
Oh.
But I'm up to the latest season.
Yeah. So I can tell you
So I
my
haven't seen it yet.
homophobic Umbrella Academy thing. My gripe.
Yes, please
My
tell
gripe
us.
about that. So you know one of the lead characters, Ellen Page,
Mm-hmm.
who is now
Ethan.
Dusty Page.
Ethan.
Ethan. It's Ethan.
I think it was like something close to Ellen.
Ethan Page. It just the way. So she in the show apparently can't continue to play a girl. She has to also transition in the show, which would be fine, except it came off so awkward to me.
Elliot.
Elliot Page. You were way off.
I was closer than you. You said like Marcus. Or
And
something.
have you guys watched the show? Jeff, have you watched it?
I've seen the first couple seasons.
Oh, yeah, they're only I think 3 seasons. But you know the siblings are all like they rag on each other, they make fun of each other, they
Do
get
sibling things.
they
yeah.
get mad at each other, you know what I mean? And
Right.
They fight like siblings.
right. And when she comes out to them all, it just seemed like all their character was gone. It was just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like no reaction at all. Just like
Which one comes out as trans?
Elliot Page, she was in Inception. You know, she's the one.
Tell me
she's-
what's her power? What's her character?
She's the one that like blows up the world.
Oh,
Well, at the beginning, she didn't have anything, right?
Oh yeah, she's
like
the
she
one
was,
that they locked
she was
in.
the Mirabelle of the Umbrella Academy, right?
Yeah,
From Mirabelle. From
she was the one that was
Encanto.
like locked in the basement, and then, or they were giving her pills so she wouldn't have powers, and then she quit taking them, and she's like, oh, I can blow up the moon, stuff like that.
I can harness my power now that
But-
I'm out.
Yeah.
Now that I've transitioned,
but
I can.
I could have told you on season 1 that she was whatever, kind of weird sexually.
Oh, well, not weird. She was a lesbian, I think, at that time. Or maybe not. Maybe that happened also during this show.
I'm pretty sure during the first couple seasons was when she was, I don't know, in transition or whatever.
Wait, so the actor/actress transitioned, therefore the character transitions after?
In this instance, that happened, yes. And I don't know if
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if the producers were like, "Oh, let's take advantage of this," or she was like, "I'll only come back if I can transition in the show." I don't know what.
So
it
she
was.
transitions to male
in the show, right? So
and
she
in real life.
so she pretty much she cuts her hair, she puts on a leather jacket, she comes in, she's like, "Hey, I'm
Fonz. Hey.
Fonzie." No,
Hey.
no, what's her name in the show? It's I can't. remember. Becky, and she transitions to Becky. And I'm not trying to hate here. If you want to do that, fine. I'm just complaining about the reaction of the other cast members, like the acting, like nobody was, because she comes out and she says, I'm this now, and I've always been, and they're like, cool, like
Cool, bro.
She's
Yeah.
a handsome dude now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that picture's like, oh, it's
That's
pull off.
it. Look,
It looks like a dude.
you think so?
I think that kind of looks like a guy, a feminine guy.
Okay, yeah, just okay.
Like the guy from Peaky
So
Blinders.
let me get this
Kinda
right.
looks like him.
So yeah, see, you go back to the other picture.
So she transitions and makes $20,000 more per episode instantly.
That's probably
See,
true.
she looks
right?
kind of like David Archuleta right there.
Yeah, she does right there.
I think she was an attractive female.
Yeah,
He was an attractive female.
yeah. Don't say that.
I'm really
He-
trying to be respectful.
He was
Like,
always an attractive female, Jake.
Well, he was a more attractive female when he looked like more like a female.
Jake, quit being
I'm
such a bigot.
I'm not trying to be. How do you deal with that? Like, it's not just if he wants to be a he, I will call him a he. I will call him Elliot.
That's the thing that gets me. I'm happy to call someone a he. What I don't get is time travel, right? Like, now that they're a he,
Right.
they've
When you refer
always
to them
been a
when
he.
they were a female
So when you refer to them in the past,
or him,
they
or
were a him posing as a girl that was soon going to come out as a man. That I don't get.
It's hard to talk about someone who has transitioned in past tense, but pre-transition,
Right, but
gender-wise.
I think I actually read about him on Wikipedia, and it does, in all the past tense, it's always he. He went to boarding school. He went to this. He joined the women's league for women's marches. He blah blah. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what
But
context
they
it
were
was.
a she at the time.
They were a she, and it's almost like historically inaccurate, right?
Yeah, because Caitlyn Jenner did not win the Olympics in the female category of, track and field.
Yeah. Like when you watch all the newsreels,
It was Bruce
nobody's
Jenner
saying
who won.
Caitlyn. Are we gonna go back through and like edit all the old videos now? You don't know.
I don't know. What do you?
I don't know either.
I think you just need to respect what their wishes, and you refer to them as a he and Elliot and the whole bit.
I guess so. But it was strange. Not that it like detracted from the story at all, because the whole gang is like these kind of eclectic, like very individual, unique personalities. So like any one of them doing anything like this wasn't out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like the feedback, the reaction between them. It was like, okay, this has to be 100% positive. There can be no like eye twitch or like eyebrow raise or anything. Like
No sarcasm.
no sarcasm,
No comedy about it.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just like 100%. Everyone's cool. Almost like she came in with like two guns. Was like, hey guys, pointed them right at their faces and was like, I'm a dude now. And the reaction
And you're
you would
gonna
make
like it.
then. Okay. Cool. Like 100%. And I'm not saying that's bad. It didn't strike me as very natural for the characters, but anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. Did you watch Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Haven't seen that one either.
Oh, you guys haven't watched
I haven't
anything.
been in Disney Plus for a long time.
Oh, it wasn't great. I think it was like I was excited for it. Obi-Wan fights Darth Vader,
Mm-hmm.
but not like cheapo, A New Hope style with the lightsaber cutting out during the scene, like full on. Which that was cool.
What old characters did they bring back?
So little tiny Princess Leia. So she's the main thing. So I can tell you, she gets kidnapped.
Sure.
They call Obi-Wan to go save her. They're like, "Hey, I know you're watching Luke out there on Tatooine."
Does it have the hologram, R2-D2 hologram?
No, it's
Obi-Wan.
It's just like her dad, Godfather thing, calls him up on the phone.
Does it have a cord on it, or is it like a?
I think, what do they do in
An
Star
iPhone?
Wars? It's like isn't it like a little microphone? It looks like a mini
Mhm.
microphone, and they just talk
Like a
into it.
recorder type thing.
Yeah, and they're just like, "Hey, I'm 20 light years away," which should mean that it'll take 20 years for you to hear this, but you can hear it instantly.
But for the sake of production,
Yeah.
we're going to make it instantaneous.
Princess Leia is kidnapped. Only you can save her. I can't save her because I'm watching Luke, and someone might come take him. Please, please, she's our only hope. Okay, I'll do it. And then he goes to save her, runs into Darth Vader like 5 times, and then they fight at the end.
So they got Darth Vader in it. That's good.
Oh yeah, and Hayden Christensen plays Darth Vader.
Oh,
He's actually in the suit, and they do some flashbacks with him. I was excited for that too, but I don't think they.
who does the voice?
It sounds like James Earl Jones, but
Okay.
I couldn't quite tell if it was him or if they
The
altered
doctor. Mhm.
Hayden Christensen's voice to sound that way. Because they did James Earl Jones in that other one. What was it called? The one that was like in between the prequels and the other ones. The one where they blow up something. I'm so prepared.
It wasn't New Hope, Empire Strikes Back.
No, it was a
one of the
recent. It was a recent one.
Between
and it had that
1,
French
3, and
guy in
4.
it. It's called Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. So in Rogue One, Darth Vader's in that for a brief moment.
Mm-hmm.
But James Earl Jones does his voice, but you can tell he's like 100, because he's like, "I do use the Force," like really slow and weird. But this wasn't. It was really good. Like well.
Simba.
acted.
Remember, I mean,
Simba.
Luke.
Yeah. Anyway, so not highly recommended. And you know what else isn't highly recommended? That stupid show that you warned me about, but I went and saw anyway.
The Boys?
And by went and saw, I mean I watched it in my living room. Doctor Strange.
Oh, I did not recommend that.
I know. I was saying you
Oh,
didn't
Okay.
recommend
You're the
it.
one that
I should have.
recommended you not watch.
Yeah, I should.
that one.
I should have listened to you. 'Cause yeah, that was dumb, wasn't it?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was they tried to do too much of many different genres.
Yeah.
They tried to do jump scare, thriller, comedy, and it just didn't land. A lot of them didn't land. The story, I felt the story was great, but they didn't do it service. They didn't do justice.
Yeah, and also the whole thing with Wanda was weird, because it was just like, oh, the last time you saw her, she was a sad woman who is sad because her husband is dead, but then she creates a new robot that's somewhere out there in the world with his soul in it, but he wasn't even mentioned in the movie. And now it's all about these unborn children, and she slaughters like half the galaxy to be their mother.
No spoilers, but don't watch it. It was James Earl Jones.
Oh, it was James Earl Jones?
I just looked up Obi-Wan Kenobi series in IMDb, and James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader.
Well, they did a lot better job. Maybe they gave him a little pick-me-up for this one. 'Cause yeah, I thought he sounded just like Darth Vader.
Kumail Nanjiani's on it too. I like him.
Yeah. You know what one I did go see in the theater, though, was Jurassic World.
Yeah, the new one.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, don't.
Okay, I won't.
You know how you warned me against Doctor Strange?
You're doing the same warning for me.
Same warning. Although you probably do have to see it, because they bring back like all the classic characters,
yeah.
Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum and
Mhm.
what's her face, and they all do a fantastic job, but they're just wasted in that movie. Their lines are weird, the dialogue is weird, the story is so convoluted, and disturbingly like it's really like Bolter said, it's like a B-rate monster movie, like Attack of the Spiders or
So
something.
no theater, but yes, watch it eventually.
Yeah, you watch it once, but plan on like a good laugh. Like I was laughing out loud probably half of that movie, and it wasn't supposed to be.
It
funny.
wasn't a funny laugh. It was
Yeah.
like ridiculous laugh.
Yeah, like there's this one scene where this dinosaur, who I guess is like the modern interpretation of what a raptor really looks like, which is essentially a turkey, apparently, and it like is swimming under the ice, and it jumps up through the ice and like flaps its arm wings or whatever, and I just lost it. It was the funniest looking thing I'd ever seen, and they're all running from it, screaming. Now, on top of that, I should say, there were a couple really good scenes, like classic Jurassic Park horror, somebody's hiding from a dinosaur, the tension's building. Really well done. But that was like 5% of the movie. The rest was just like, it was so, you thought that it was like a Roland Emmerich, Roland Emmerich that makes all the like disaster movies. It had the feeling like that at the beginning.
Did he do Day After Tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow, Independence Day, Moonfall was the most recent one. Anything to do with like a big disaster, he's on top of it. 2012, those type of movies. It had the feeling of that type of movie at the beginning, and then probably halfway through was like 100% a James Bond movie, like in Europe, car chases. Then it was Jason Bourne fight scene in like an apartment building, two girls going at it. Literally like those exact styles.
Fighting
of
going
movies.
at it.
Fighting going at it, but like almost like they just ripped off the scenes from other movies. Like
And made it into Jurassic Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then somehow they end up back in the Jurassic-y jungle, and it's just a good old time from there.
Hey, I won't waste my money.
Yeah, Phil's giving that one a hard thumbs down. And I thought Jurassic World, the first one, was a decent movie. I thought they did a good job with that. But the next one was bad, and this one follows right in its footsteps. So it was a big waste of those great characters that we all love from like 30 years ago.
Right.
We're old.
I did see, speaking of 30-ish years ago, I did see Top Gun twice.
Oh, did you? You saw it again in the theater?
Still amazing the second time.
Yeah.
Intense, like asking yourself, are they going to make it when you already know that they're going to?
Yeah.
Just because I just think it was like the perfect movie. I wonder if all of the post-production that occurred, because they delayed it for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Because of COVID. I wonder if they fine-tuned it even more during that hiatus, because it was like just perfectly done.
That's got to be a thing, because I guarantee whenever there's a mediocre movie that there was potential there to make it really good just on the editing floor. You know what I mean? Like if they'd spent the time, gone through and actually been like, you know what, this whole half hour doesn't work. Let's pull up all that old footage, I'm sure they don't do that because it's expensive to do, but in this situation, just like you said, they had all that time.
Let's reshoot it with the Taiwan flag on the
right
or the Taiwan, the
Taiwanese flag, yeah.
Yeah,
and Japanese, I think, were edited out in the trailer. The Taiwanese and Japanese flag, and two like nonsense flags were put on his jacket. But they did return those in the movie to the originals, so that was cool.
So that I'm sure that had to have happened sometime post production, after they initially should have released it or would have released it. They refilmed to show, or at least edited to show, the correct flag on the back of his coat jacket.
My guess is that they actually used his jacket in the footage. They filmed it, and then they edited it out for the trailer, and then and that was their plan. Like,
you think
to keep it like that? But then they got a backlash, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just go back to the original.
Let's keep it
and
how it was.
and lose the entire Chinese market," which I applaud them for doing. I think that's what more movie studios need to be doing. But
Listen to the backlash, you're saying, or
No,
don't kowtow
don't.
to.
don't listen to it. Not like what's his name, John Cena, that like said something
Went and
about
apologized
China
in
and then
Chinese, 'cause-
like learned Chinese to apologize. It's like so absurd.
yeah.
God bless America, land of the do what China wants. Right?
Yeah. Right, Jeff?
You don't even listen anymore.
That's right. I listen to everything. I've been sitting here with my arms folded, just listening.
So
Oh,
you saw Top Gun. You liked it, right? Your kids loved it.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It was,
Then we went to the air show. We went to the air show after that, and
yeah.
the kids loved the air show even more because they were like, "Oh, these are the ones that are in Top Gun. This is
Mhm.
the Navy. These are the Navy airplanes." Like they're so excited about it. It's awesome.
yeah, I heard that air show was a good time from you saying that.
It was amazing. It
Yeah?
really was. Yeah. We need to go. They only do it every 2 years, but man, it was so worth it. They did have some F-18s there from the Navy that were doing super cool stunts, and we didn't stay for the whole thing. We were there for my little 3-year-old's birthday party, so he fell asleep in the middle of it. But
Mhm.
it was just really cool being able to walk up to the airplanes. They had all the pilots out there for all these airplanes. We could talk to them and ask him questions, and yeah. The only thing missing was Tom Cruise in
Mhm.
a whatever it's called, the boat that they land on, an aircraft carrier.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say Tom Cruise and an invitation to fly in a jet with him.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
It'd be fun, right?
You know what was cool is the jets were impressive, but even the prop planes were so awesome. So cool. Everything there was just awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to go one day. So yeah, Top Gun is highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. Way better than the first one, I think. And honestly, way like, gotta be in the very, very top of any like military movie.
Oh, by
Like-
far.
Yeah, like up there with Saving Private Ryan and American Sniper.
Yeah. And if you've seen it, go see it again.
Anyway, hope you've enjoyed being here with us on the American Forked podcast. Did we fix America today?
We didn't really talk about much problem-wise that is going on in the world.
Oh, I guess not.
But we did, I think if more people watch Top Gun and don't watch Jurassic Park or the Mr. Wonderful, whatever,
Mr.
the Marvel movie,
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, then yes, I think we fixed America a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
I'll get into it way deeper. I think what we can take away from this is that even if you can't agree on politics and January 6th and the drought or veganism or not,
Or transgenderism.
we can all agree on or transgender, whatever. We can all agree on Top Gun.
Yep, we can agree.
So let's talk.
Top Gun good, Jurassic Park bad.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the things that we agree on and get along. And then once we're getting along, we can start tackling the bigger pictures.
Or we can just jab in the things that we don't get along over because it's fun,
Oh, okay. That works.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Beagle?
Yep. You there? Call in.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.